Hi, my name is Annette LeClaire. Thank you for joining us on our first ever Técare tutorial. This is a pilot that we did with about 30 women that came on and wanted to learn the basics of skincare. They're in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they're realizing how much they need to take care of their skin and that it's changing. It's changing a lot due to many reasons. Hormonal changes, regular aging, there's a lot of reasons. So in the first one, we wanted to cover the basics. What different types of cleansers are out there, what different types of moisturizers are out there, and what you would use for what. Unfortunately, we forgot to press record for the first half of the pilot, so I'm going to reenact it for you. And then what we have still saved is for you to listen to just a little bit about Técare, but more importantly, the questions and the answers that we had from our participants. All right, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy this. Hi there. So the first part is about cleansers. So cleansers come in different forms. If you are washing your face with something that is making it feel tight or reverse, not cleansing the oil enough, what's going to happen is it doesn't matter what kind of moisturizer or the rest of your whole skincare, it doesn't matter what you have. You can have the most expensive products, the most beautiful products. By the way, price does not dictate quality, and we'll chat about that. But you need to start to make sure that your cleanser is appropriate for your skin. So there's different types. I'm going to actually wash my face right on camera. This is the first type that I love to use because I do have some makeup on. So I'm going to be taking it off. This is an Ohm Organic cleansing balm. So you're going to see a lot of different balms. I like this one because it is very natural. It feels and it works really well, and it also still moisturizes my skin. There's others out there. Some have a little bit more glycerin or a little bit more waxy. It just really depends on your budget and also depends on what you'd like to accomplish. But most of the time, we want to take off our mascara is the biggest thing that's hardest, right? Now I'm wearing what's called a tubing mascara, and there is a video on our social Técare today that talks about tubing mascara. It's also on our website. It's really good for maturing lashes because it's easy to take off. All right, so something like this, all I'm going to do with my cleansing balm first, I have a bowl of water. I don't normally wash my face at my computer, but a beautiful warm, a warm face cloth feels so awesome. When you take the day off, oh, that feels so good, right? And you can see it's starting to come off a little bit. It's starting to smear. So what I want to do, and sometimes with organic products, you have to mix them. They don't have preservatives in them to keep them on the shelf. So you tend to have to mix. Now, if you notice, when I go in, I can put this right over my eyes. It's soothing. Oh, it has a wonderful essential oil in it. A few of them, I got to look which one it is again for the Ohm. Okay, and that's all I need to do. Oh, I forgot. Can't do it without the classic headband. I'm just boring my kids. If you're wondering what these are, I can't stand getting water down my arms. So I'm sure we're going to sell these one day because I just love them. They're for washing your face. So now I'm going to just take it off going upwards, but softly. You don't need to hurt your skin, okay? You don't need to rub. You don't need to, all you're doing is you're just being abrasive to your skin. Now, I have a little bit of mascara still, so I'm going to just take some puffs and take it off. Now, some people like to use, they don't use a cleansing balm, and that's totally fine. If you're just taking off your makeup or you're just washing your face lightly, you don't wear makeup, and micellar water is completely fine for that. Micellar water. Sometimes I use it. I actually find it still drying on my eyes, and my eyes are getting a little crepey as they get older. Okay, I took it off. So that's a cleansing balm. Probably the most moisturizing type of cleanser you can have. If you like to double cleanse because you just want to take off your makeup and still cleanse, make sure it's a soothing one. I really like, there's 3 ships. This is one we carry called Harmony, Cucumber, and Kombucha Milky Cleanser. So milky cleansers, you'll see this one here from Ohm. Okay, this is for very damaged, dry skin, especially over the winter, but still as we transition into summer, or if you get too much sun, this is a beautiful product as well. So these are all kind of like a milky or even creamy texture. Okay, so they are really, really nice. I'm going to wash the other half of my face with the 3 ships. By the way, these are all Canadian. You see that's kind of like a milk. It kind of drips a little bit. Milky cleansers tend to be lighter. but still super soothing. Okay. Oh, I really like that. So I'm just going to rinse my face one more time. Normally I wouldn't use a washcloth again, but because I'm in the office. All right, done and done. So we have balm cleansers, we have cream cleansers, and then we have a lotion type of cleanser. So lots of different types. Basically, the thicker they are, the more moisturizing they are. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Also, this one here that we carry, this is good for combination kind of skin. It's natural. It's from Rebel's Refinery. It has salicylic acid in it, if I'm saying that correctly. Anytime you see that, or benzoyl peroxide, it is for an oilier type of skin tone or acne prone. Just be careful. Where it is listed on the ingredient list is where is how much it has. Okay, so again, this is face wash, all natural, Rebel's Refinery. I don't use this myself unless I'm kind of in that like PMSing side where I might get a few friends. Then I would use something like that. All right, so now let's move on to moisturizers. My goodness, there's a bunch. And if you go on Técare.ca under tutorials, you're going to see some downloads that you can actually just save to your phone. So when you are going shopping, you can actually see what it is, maybe the different types, instead of trying to remember from this tutorial. So there are, just like cleansers, there are very light moisturizers. The gel kind, I don't have one here, but a gel kind is great again for oily skin in the summer, combination skin. So you'll see it'll say gel moisturizer on it. So that's kind of the lightest type of moisturizer that you can purchase. Then you're going to go to a lotion. Where's my lotion? Oops. This is cream. I would argue it's kind of a lotion as well, just because of the density. So when you look at it, this is from Ohm. It's beautiful. Go to Koala and Squalene. Squalene's an excellent moisturizer. Just the consistency. It's pretty light. Okay? It's pretty light. It's very nice. Now, when you're see, I'm going like up, but I'm massaging up. If you get a facial done, my facialist is incredible, and she literally just keeps massaging up. We got muscles in our face. You know, we work out our bodies, we worry about walking every day, worry about all that, but we don't think about the muscles in our face, okay? So that's a beautiful idea. I usually switch to a lotion in the summer months because my skin kind of normalizes a little bit more from the winter when it's very dry. Now, this one from 3 Ships, Restore Ceramides and Go to Koala again, barrier repair cream. You push the pump like this, okay? Now, this is a thicker cream. You can see that just by the consistency. This is great if you have dry skin, not just dehydrated. What's the difference? Dehydrated skin is very surface, okay? It doesn't last. It's usually based on the condition outside that's causing it. Dry skin tends to be dry skin all the time. All right, now, if you look, again, massage up, okay? Get use out of your product. Now, I'm not putting it around my eyes. I do like to put it up here. Eye cream is different. We're going to have a separate tutorial on that. The skin around your eyes are thinner, which is why you can see the blood vessels. I get dark circles. Some have circulation buildup, aka puffiness. And then I smooth down. Because guess what? You can't see it on camera, but in real life you can. I'm getting some crepes. Crepes, I don't even like crepes. But anyway, some people ask what's the difference between neck cream, and it's actually in our Q&A, and regular cream. Mostly marketing, to be honest with you. I will say that neck cream tends to have more ingredients for elasticity, but that you can get in a face cream too. We actually have a kit from 3 Ships called Firm Believer, it's called Smooth Start. And the Firm Believer cream inside of it is wonderful for elasticity and into your neck. Not as moisturizing, so you kind of have to have more normal or just dehydrated skin, but it's good. That's the Firm Believer. All right, and then you can get into a thicker moisturizer even. So I did lotion, I talked about gel, I did lotion, cream, and then you can get into a thicker balm. This one here, shea butter, jojoba oil, fragrance-free. It's straight up moisturizer. There are no actives in it for aging, like peptides and ceramides and things like that, okay? But I really like it for your base. If it's not for you, for your teenagers, it's a good one. So see how thick this is. When this comes out, it's pretty thick. Okay, this one here, what the heck, I'll add it. You can even get thicker balm as well. I have a very moisturized face. But yeah, so this one is a straight up, it's lighter weight for a balm. But again, you can get, if you see in the drugstores or whatnot, you can see how thick the differences are, again, from lotions to creams to balms and even a gel and a milk. Okay, yes, there are a lot. So I hope that answered your questions. You can always DM us and we can give a more general response, but at least it's something direct to your question. And I say general because at the end of the day, we need to know your skin. So we might even ask you a little bit, some questions if we can. Okay, so I hope you check out those downloadable images that are on Técare tutorials. And now the video will transition into the actual live Técare tutorial itself. You'll hear some great questions and answers. Stick around for as long as you want on it. And the other thing is, make sure you sign up for our next one. We're thinking it's going to be sunscreens and eye creams, but there's also a lot of demand asking for serums. So we're just figuring that out. Okay, all right, take care.
We're holding on to that super tight. So we really want to make sure that we are just loosening up all of those muscles, just, and just getting into that whole area. How do you feel on that?
Something new there? Yeah, no, good. I just realized I hadn't been recording this entire time. Oh well, I'll grab what I can for it. Did anybody learn something new there with moisturizing? Yes, I usually slap it on. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, we're in a hurry, right? But this is meant for, Karina had a wonderful tip, and that is when you come home from work, like a lot of times I know a lot of you have kids in sports, or you have evening plans, or you work in the night or whatever. And then if we wait till 10 o'clock at night to take off our face, or as we say, or to moisturize and to cleanse and all that, sometimes we just do a half-assed job and we don't want to do it, right? So Karina actually gave me a really good tip a while ago, and it was when you come home from work, if you don't need to go out again or whatever, do it then. Because when you do it then, it feels like you're taking that work day off, So if you have more time in between, do it earlier and then it's done. So it doesn't have to be right before bed. Okay, so that's the other thing. It can sit your serum, like all that stuff on your the serums, which we didn't get into tonight, but moisturizing and stuff. It can be on your face during the evening. It doesn't have to be right before you go to sleep or anything like that.
And it just helps you reset and refocus and reset for your time at home. So if you're not driving the kiddos anywhere, you're not going anywhere, before you start dinner, before you start all of that chaos, take that 5 or 10 minutes for yourself, put your comfies on, put your jammies on, do your skincare routine, and then do your evening. And then if you're like me and pass out on the couch, or, you've done your skincare and you're like, oh, okay, just going to go brush my teeth. There we go. And we're done.
Thank you so much. This is really helpful. I do have a question about the moisturizer that you would put on your neck. And if you should be using a different one, because the neck, as I'm getting older, it's, you know what I'm talking about? I just wonder if there's something more thicker that I should be putting on in the evenings.
There are. So one of the biggest things is everything is marketable and everything is branded. So yes, absolutely. We don't have the same oil glands in our neck that we do in some of the areas on our face. Same for the eyes and around the mouth. So absolutely, there are some beautiful neck type of creams. Also okay to use your moisturizer because your skin type is not going to be very different. So if you're dehydrated, you're going to be dehydrated all over. So we want to really get that hydration. We want to really make sure that we're emphasizing. On another tutorial, we'll talk more about serums and different things that can help accentuate your moisturizers. But there are some wonderful brands out there that have some really nice firming, but a lot of it is massaging. And a lot of ladies have forgotten that they had skin down here. So the moisturizer kind of stopped, about here. So starting to moisturize at any time is great, but we also have to recognize if we're just starting, then we're going to slow things down from this point going forward. Right? So as we get that hydration back in, it's going to plump up a little bit. It's going to look great. But absolutely, there are different moisturizers that we could use for that.
So perhaps unpopular, but I'm going to ask anyway, because these things are quite costly and I'd rather focus up here. Could I honestly just use like is it Aquaforia? It's like that fancy Vaseline. My daughter swears by it. Or can you literally just put Vaseline or something there that would make it really moisturized? Or is that...
It'll lock in the moisture. I would rather that you make sure that you use your moisturizer or using a balm, like something, from one of my favorite. And I remember with Annette, with Ellie, when she was a baby and she had like eczema and she was getting all of this different things. And I'm like, one thing that we do in North America is we wash too much and we wash too harsh. So what we need to do is replenish. So using something like a Lipicar balm or like a balm, like a body lotion balm, and putting it from here down, well, absolutely. And then once that's in and massaged and give it a good 10 minutes to soak in, absolutely, you could put that over top to lock it in. You can absolutely do an oil, like a body oil, after your bath or shower or after you cleanse, and get the balm on and just getting that moisture in. Absolutely. And I get it. I mean, but if you're using a quarter size, like a nickel to a quarter size, that should do your entire face, your neck, and behind. And you will still get probably 3 to 4 months with your cream, using it twice a day.
So welcome to Técare, okay? For beauty and body care. I hope you like the look and feel, the branding. I love feedback, which I'm going to send you an email about. So constructive feedback. If you tell me it's good, that's great. I love hugs, but I do like constructive feedback. Tell me what's good. If you think something's terrible, be nice, but you can tell me it's also a bit terrible, right? Or you got lost, you didn't understand how to buy something, etc. So when you go on takecare.ca, you're going to see why Técare. We're brand new, so I put that right up front. You're going to see products at all price points. So yes, we have only 3 brands right now, but starting easy. What happens is, if you don't know how this works, I actually buy the brands at wholesale, so I've funded it all. I'm very limited, but I have opened it that I can sell it beyond my stock level, because I actually get it pretty quickly. Some come from BC. I've got 2 from Toronto. So the shipping time to me is pretty good. So if I sell out, no problem. I'm going to be getting it in pretty quickly. And I thought maybe you'd be kind of forgiving right at this point as I learn how to manage my inventory. But we have different price points because everybody deserves quality products. We have like a Rebels Refinery, which is this one in the middle. We have a, which is kind of like your CeraVe, but or Cetaphil. I can't pronounce those properly. Kind of that price point level, a little bit more, but they're all natural ingredients. Very basic, kind of like, I just want to moisturize and I just want to clean. I don't need anything additive for actives for aging or anything like that. Also really good if you got teens. Kind of a nice basic for that as well. It's not going to hit your wallet. We have Om, which is that blue azul one that you saw. And just cleansers and moisturizers right now, pretty much. And that's an organic line from BC. I love it. And Karina's favorite, and I love some of their products as well, is 3 Ships. And you might have seen 3 Ships. This was a big win. They are in many places. They're Canadian. They're all natural. They're truly wonderful. And there's some products in there. Again, just cleansers and moisturizers. That's all I started with. So on the tutorials, we're going to see if we're going to have another one, and they'll be posted here. Granted, next time I hit record. Here's also your downloadable for anybody images for your phone. You would just click on it, of course, and away you go. The mini shop. Here's your 3 collections that you can learn about each brand. Okay, so the whole point is learning on the site. So if I go into Om Skincare, I worked with each brand to get their background and understand how they make the products, where they source their ingredients, all of that. That's their apothecary in BC. It's gorgeous. I now have that on my list to want to go see. And then it's just a few different ones, from a kit to cleansers and creams. We also got mini versions. So if you don't want to commit, that's totally cool. You can get a mini version of the product and try it out. And then this one didn't come in mini, but it's full size, but these 2 come in minis as well. So mini shop, who am I? My big old face. Just my background for credibility, our definition of quality. And the last thing I want to mention before we leave is about empowering others. One of the cool things that, and some of you might have seen this video, But one of the cool things I have discovered about myself, and I guess is a value of mine, is empowerment. I realized through teaching at Algonquin College, but even before that, when I had the store, I love sharing knowledge because people they pump up. They feel like they're much more confident in whatever it is they're buying or whatever it is they're presenting for, their grades or whatever that is. And I found that cool synergy. I've been in Walmart and Sephora and Shoppers, and I don't know what it is about me, but I get people asking me, and I don't even work there, do you know anything about this line? And what is that ingredient in this? And I love sharing that, right? So that is what where we're going. And so what I did was I decided empowering others should really start with women, empowering other women. But more importantly, let's start with who was first here, which is our Indigenous women. When I was in Kingston a couple years ago, before I started my master's, I brought Ellie. And Ellie and I were walking around campus, and I said, this is where mommy's going to go to school. And she's like, okay. She was about 7. And at the time, they had red dresses hanging everywhere. And she asked me, Mama, what is the red dresses for? And how do you explain that to a 7-year-old, right? I explained that they symbolize missing and murdered Indigenous women of Canada as a reminder not to forget. And she asked me, why would we forget? And I was like, oh my God, right? They really hit home. So what I decided is there's actually a project here called and I can't pronounce, but it's called the Beautiful Sisters Project. And they help families of missing and murdered Indigenous women with, actually coping with the issue and helping them find, but more importantly, going through those tragedies. So when we did the survey, if you didn't catch it, 300 women responded. So I donated $300 of my personal money to that center, which is actually located here in Ottawa. And then Karina and somebody else, her name's Carmela from my program, is going to help really make that authentic, not just dollars donated, but what else can we do at Técare to start with empowering those women. So I just think that's important. I just wanted to mention what is empowering others. I'm trying to carry that through everything.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's all we really wanted to cover tonight. I don't know if it was too much information, too little. I'll send out an email and you'll be able to answer 3 questions if you have the time. And it'll really help us for the next one and when we really fully launch publicly to everybody. If you have questions, even particularly about your own skin, stick around. We'll be here.
So Rachel did ask a question in the chat about picking a moisturizer. What ingredients should you look for or stay away from? I have dry skin. A generic answer for that is definitely looking for something with hyaluronic acid in it because it is the natural fluid that's within our cells that holds that water. So you want that in your product. You'll want things like glycerin. You want to stay away. As brightening as vitamin C is, or some of the citric acids, it can still be a little bit drying to your skin. You want to give comfort and care. See, more minimal ingredients, less ingredient list is a good thing. Be careful with natural products. And when I say natural, so you're like, oh, look, it's got aloe, it's got jojoba, it's got shea butter. All wonderful things. But it also has mint. Or it has, I'm trying to think another one that tea tree oil.
Vitamin C,
vitamin C. If you are sensitive to these things in foods, in products, in scents, you're going to have that same reaction in your skincare. So natural is not always safest. You still have to take care, but we really want to try to stay away from the products with fragrance. If you like a little bit of a scent, try to make sure that it's one of the last ingredients because it will be the last and the smallest amount of the product in that ingredient. So the bigger the top 4 that you see, those are going to be the more plentiful of ingredients in your product. If you're dry, you want to go with a cream or a balm, at least for sure in the winter. And then you can change to a cream and a lotion for spring, summer, like for those winter months. I hope that answered your question, Rachel.
Two questions. We have Natalie and then Dione. So Natalie said in the chat, should you mix and match your products or try to stay within the same line?
So this is always a great question. So marketing and brands will have you convinced that you have to stay with the same line. You do not have to stay with the same line. Everybody's body chemistry is different. So when you see these, 60 or no, not, it's never 60. It's like 90% and 70% and 85% of the respondents saw, dramatic results or different results. Well, it's usually, I think the highest test case I've seen is like with 100 people. And the majority of the people that saw a difference was because their skin was dehydrated. And then now their skin is hydrated, so it plumps up. And yes, they noticed a difference, right? Because they didn't have that dehydration in their skin. So just be mindful that the marketing, they're going to try to pull you in. They're going to try to hook you in. For some people, yes, one brand, one line, using all of those products works amazing for them. But for others, it's okay to mix and match. You could have a favorite product from one brand and a favorite other two products from another brand. That's okay. There is no right or wrong answer. It's what works for you.
Right on the site as well, I say that. You can mix and match. When Mirelle started, when I met Karina, that was their whole idea of getting away from this department store of you must go to this counter and you get everything Estee Lauder, you get everything Chanel, you get everything, right? Remember that? And the mix and the match. And it's because in the end, it's really about that, what works for you, and your skin's going to change.
Okay, I had to get myself off mute as well. So when you were just going back to the very beginning, you were talking about cleansers. I've discovered something recently in all my travels in the last year, some didn't cover, but I'm hoping you can source it. And it's powder cleansers. I use one called Rituals, but I can't find it in Canada yet. Eminence has one as well, but it's hard to find and it's expensive in Canada. This is what mine looks like. And you put the powder in your hand and you add a little bit of water, like this, and it's beautiful. It's like a creamy cleanser. And it's amazing for traveling as well. So if you're able to help source that would be amazing to get.
Send me the brand. It's actually a trend I'm seeing in a lot of indie beauty. So for example, masks. So masks will come in a powder form instead. You put a little bit of water, you mix it, and that's actually one of the tools that I want to bring in. And it's great for applying. It's great for travel. You actually get a lot more quality product for your dollar. You're not getting water as a filler. So I'm seeing that more and more and more. So you're going to see other brands, but send me what brand that is. One of the things, my goal is to bring in a lot from Europe. Karina was telling me, and this is something I learned as well, the European standards are so high, right? Compared to Canada's kind of in the middle, and then the States a little bit lower in terms of ingredients and what they are, what's banned and what's not. And they will clinically test their products for 5 to 10 years at least in Europe. That doesn't have to happen here. So when you bring in a brand from like French Pharmacy, it's pretty cool. It's getting them and being able to. And so I might have a trip later this year. I think Aggie's on the call where I'm going to be going over and investigating some of their drugstore brands, which are actually what is higher end here.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to find some of those. Dione, do you want to? Yay! Okay, she's alive. All right, cool. Dione,
Hi.
go ahead.
So my question. Well, thanks for inviting me. I think it was very interesting. I love that you're doing this, and I really see a value for 40 plus women. So yay. But I do have a question. So I have very oily skin, and I've been using for the last 8 months a brand called Lumiere MD. I think it's French, but I get it at Skinsterma, and I feel like it's 8 months later drying my skin. So now I was using it like every night, and now I'm kind of going like one night and two not, and then one night again, because I was starting to feel like it's drying out my skin, and I think having it oily is like a blessing. So I don't want to like take those natural oils away, but also like I do need to use things that like control like shine and whatever, right? So like the bad part of having oily skin.
Yeah.
So basically, have you had a chance to investigate that brand? It might not be like so good for you. It might have too many chemicals. I don't know. if you could have some feedback or maybe look into it later on and let me know.
So we can absolutely look into it. Typically what happens with some of the skincare clinics and derma clinics and Hope in a Bottle and different things that they sell, some of the products are fantastic and they're great. But when you have an oily skin type or you have a dry skin type or a normal, which is typically a combination, you want to treat that. You don't want to stop the oil production because now you're feeling that dehydration, right? You're like, woo, I'm feeling dry. You're feeling dehydrated because you don't have your natural emollient. So this is where that skincare, that change in way of thinking is actually cleansing. You could still use the cream, but cleanse with an oil cleanser. Seems weird, seems strange. You're telling me to clean my face with an oil, but it'll actually help your sebum, your oil glands, to regulate. It's not going to try to replenish, and then it's not going into like a stasis where it's like, ooh, should I put some in? Should I not? You want to keep your skin balanced. You want to keep that pH balance. So you can maybe try just using an oil cleanser and then, maybe a micellar to just, give you some freshness, but without dehydrating, and then using the moisturizer and seeing how that balances out with your skin.
I do take my makeup off with micellar water for the last 10 years or something. So that's something I love since a long time ago. It's these brands that are supposed to be, as you were saying, like Miracle or Hope in a Bottle or whatever. They're expensive, but I don't want them to be causing more damage than good. That's kind of like my worry.
And you could be changing too. You don't know, right? That's the other thing too. There could be something that your skin is like a symptom of other things going on. And we've changed seasonally now. But if something's not working for you anymore, you don't need to keep using it. There's so many options out there, right? So,
and there's that loyalty, right? So sometimes, we can feel loyal to a brand, but it's okay to try something else because it may not be working for you now at where you are at in your body, your biochemistry, any of those things. Even cortisol, high stress levels will actually have an effect on your skincare as well. So these are all different things that, maybe switching just a little thing at first to help you navigate maybe changing to another course of cleansers and moisturizers.
Does anybody else have any questions? I see Christine, my sister. Yeah, I'll talk to you offline about that. If you're swimming a lot, salt water or chlorine, it's more of a before but after, but chlorine can just ruin your skin. It's funny, we don't think of those things, right? But that's exactly my friend does Aquafit and she's like, she's Snow White, right? That's her skin. And it completely changed everything. Great for her body, but that was something. Tanya, did you have any questions or anything?
No, actually, I am curious. What do you feel about the erase cloths, erase your face cloths?
As long as you're using a clean one every time, I would still use a bit of product with it because it does tug at our skin. So a youthful skin like my 15-year-old daughter with just water is great. But as we age and different things, different factors on our skin, I would still use a cleansing product with it.
Yeah.
I can share that I like it for my eye makeup, and then I'll always use a cream cleanser. But I would still.
So around your eyes, you don't have the same oil glands, or the skin is a lot thinner as well. So I would still encourage you to use a cream cleanser over the eyes, work it, and then use that eraser. Absolutely, and it'll take the makeup off beautifully. But if we're just using the eraser cloth just for that, it will tug at your eyes and it could create some irritation or, a little extra skin from stretching out. So yeah.
Okay, so that's helpful. So then instead of maybe doing the cream cleanser after, I should do that first and then follow up with the cloth.
And then follow up with your eraser. Yeah.
For you, Tanya, too, have you ever used a cleansing balm?
No, because I didn't know they existed until today.
I would highly recommend that for you.
All right, I'll totally take your recommendation on one then. Thank you.
All right, so that's it. So I will wrap it up, and I hope you enjoyed it. And you'll see your email with that promo code, and just a quick little 3 questions, and that's it. And that would be super helpful. Okay, have a good night, everyone.
Have a great night.